Yo, fam, what's good? What's good? How's everybody? And welcome to season 22. I appreciate you guys for coming to drop some love. Now, we're almost at partner on YouTube, so you guys watching, liking, commenting, they all help, and I do appreciate you guys. You guys rock. Now, this build, it's insanely good. I mean, I love Void Warlock anyway, but the new Exotic Arms Briar Bands are insane. Like, literally, these Void Souls never end, and you can have out, I think I had up to 4 or 5 out at one time. You're limited based on how quickly you can grab them and refresh them. So you grab them, refresh them, and it's like deploying a brand new Void Soul, and you can just keep multiple out, weakening targets. I mean, these volatile explosions, devour, it's insanely good. Now, guys, I do have some great news for you guys that are watching. You can win a Scientia Obscura Emblem by leaving the code word Emblem in the chat. In the comments below. And I'm going to be doing the draw on Monday, the 28th of August, 9:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is Sydney, Australia, if you need to know. Thanks to the guys at Bungie Australia for hooking me up with a few. And I will be doing that draw, as I said, and hopefully one of you guys can win. So code word Emblem in the comments. And if you do like the content, make sure you hit a subscribe and like and share, all that sort of stuff. Now, into the build itself, you can run whatever super you want. I personally like to run Nova Bomb just for that quick hit. Healing Rift, now healing or empowering Rift, that will make a difference for the Void Soul, and I'll explain that in a sec. Any grenade you choose, it doesn't really matter. Feed the Void, defeating a target with a Void ability activates Devour, and while Devour is active, Final Blows restore health and extend Devour. So you're going to constantly have Devour. Child of the Old Gods, big one here, that's your Void Soul, it will weaken. Now, if you have the Empowering Rift on, you're going to get health. If you have your regular Healing Rift on, you're going to get Grenade and Melee Energy as it's draining. Echo of Instability, defeating targets with grenades grants you volatile rounds for your Void weapons. Massive Void explosions are an absolute sick. Echo of Cessation, defeating volatile targets create a Void Breach. Now, those Void Breach are going to help us keep our Devour up as well. Echo of Persistence, Void buffs applied to you, so Invisibly, Overshield, and Devour have an increased duration. And then Echo of Starvation. Now, I rock this just for that extra level of Devour, just constantly being able to. If you want to weaken your grenades as well, you can use your Echo of Undermining, but it's not needed because you're constantly going to be weakening them with your Child of the Old Gods. And you can replace it, Cessation or whichever one you want. The build itself is just all in the exotic. Now, on your helm, you want to make sure you've got Ashes to Assets just to get that super back super quick. I am running a Harmonic Siphon just so I can get some orbs as well, because it helps get my grenades and stuff back all the time as well. And then into the arms itself, you're going to be rocking the arms. Now, the new exotics, as I said, it increases the duration of your Void Souls. So it's brand new. It came out with season 22. So your Void Souls have a longer duration. They also gain escalating damage and durability as they defeat targets. You can retrieve your Void Soul by interacting with them and allowing them to be redeployed. So you can just constantly keep redeploying them. Now, on the actual arms themselves, I run a Firepower and I run a Grenade Kickstart. That's just to help so I can constantly keep throwing grenades for volatile rounds and things like that as well. Chuck a Reloader on. Now, on your chest, the chest is always about the same, but I'm going to rock a Charged Up just to help get grenade back a little bit quicker as well. And then any resistance you want. Now, if you are doing some harder content, I'd probably take the Charged Up off and put on some Concussive Damned or something like that. I'm running Insulation and and the reason I'm running Insulation is so I can constantly have my Rift, and then an Innovation for Grenade. Stacks on stacks, so every orb I'm generating is 2. So I'm getting 2 armor charges every time. You could run Elemental Charge if you want, but I always found it was a bit inconsistent with the amount you can get. You could also replace some of the stuff with some Surges if you want a little bit of extra weapon damage. Onto the Bond itself. Powerful attraction, you're going to be dropping a lot of rifts. It's going to be able to collect all those orbs around you as well, constantly keeping up your armor charge so you can get more grenades back. Obviously, then also giving you your class ability and your grenade back with the orb pickup as well. Reaper, every time you do cast the rift, your next weapon damage is going to give you an orb of power, and then 1 stack of bomber, once again, feeding into that grenade energy all the time. Prioritize resilience as a foremost always, and that's to give you the 30% damage reduction, and then into your discipline as well, just so you can constantly keep spamming out those things. Your next one would be recovery. I know I said recovery is important for this because recovery is what deems to be your rift, but you're really not lacking. I would go with a grenade just so you can sort of clear those enemies quite quickly, and you can see within the build itself, you're constantly going to have that rift back anyway. Artifact really doesn't lend a lot of help this season to the builds. I am running Elemental Orbs Void, so while you're using a Void weapon and a Void subclass, you're going to get a chance to spawn a Void Elemental Orb, and then you can use those to throw, and they cause explosions. And as you can see there, when your ally destroys or picks up, they get weapon damage. Refreshing pickups, picking up a Tangle or an Elemental Orb grants energy to your least powered ability, which is, it's going to help with your grenades and things like that. And there's a few others here, like throwing them gives you heavy ammo, special ammo, and things like that. And there's a little bit of extra damage. That one there gives you recovery and resistance. So there's a heap of really, niche, I wouldn't say niche, but they're cool, but they're not as powerful as last season's ARC mods. So obviously pick the one that's going to suit your gameplay. Monochromatic there is one of the ones that I'll be running a lot, just to get that bonus weapon damage constantly. So yeah, that's the build in its essence. As I said, super fun build. I think it's probably going to be one of my favorites this season. I definitely have a few Void Warlock builds up my sleeve this season as well, with some changes to other exotics. And I've got a couple of Hunter builds and a couple of Titan builds. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the season. I am absolutely loving it so far. The new content's fun. Obviously, we don't have a heap of it, but these builds are definitely helping, and I'm just trialing and erroring new stuff. So excited to get into some of the new weapons. Obviously, the new arc grenade launcher and stuff is pretty cool as well. And here's just another clip that I decided to give to you guys, just to showcase exactly what I mean by you can just run one Void Soul instead of running multiple, and you can just constantly just keep refreshing it and just taking it everywhere you go. So you can see there, I'm just reapplying it, always getting that 15% weakening, which is what your buff is. Same as what you get from your grenade. So you're constantly going to have that weakening doing 15% extra damage to the enemies, and it's going to cluster around the whole lot of them. So you can see I just constantly been able to, you got voice already. I got another 10 seconds before I have to redeploy it. And you see here, we'll redeploy it again, pick it up, and we can just literally keep it forever. So you can do it this way instead of just constantly having heaps of them out. I mean, chaos and just having them out everywhere is just cool. And you're really not going to ever have no rift. So you're going to constantly be able to just keep applying these Void Souls. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. It's one of my the first build I made, and this solely because A, it's a new exotic, and B, it was just so much fun to use. I haven't tested it, as I said, in GMs and stuff yet because the GMs aren't out. But I mean, you're weakening stuff constantly. What's not to love about it? Yeah, don't forget to smash a like and follow. I do appreciate the love and support as always. As I said earlier, we're almost at YouTube partner. We just need to get those about 700 more watch hour, and we can apply for the partnership, which is going to be super cool. And that's because of you guys supporting the content. So GG's to you. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Hopefully you guys win the emblem. Don't forget code word emblem in the comments if you want to win the emblem. And I will be drawing it on the 28th of August, 9:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Times. And I'll leave a comment with the winner in the chat as well. Obviously, it's going to be live streamed. So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the new season, and I'll see you guys on the next build video. Stay groovy, stay safe as always. Appreciate you guys. Deuces. GG's. GG's.